I'll lob in and lob in one. The students have prepared after seeing as much as they could online about you and the videos and the books and reading. They've prepared many questions, but a common theme was just how you're sourcing ideas across, India, China, Korea, Japan, Turkey. How are you how are you finding ideas? I don't know if you're looking at the equivalent of 13 apps of Turkish entrepreneur investors, or how are you finding these 1P ideas or 3P?
I think this was Ocean's 12, maybe it was Ocean's 13, the movie. I forget which Oceans it was, but it was, I think, when Clooney is talking to Andy Garcia. Was that in Ocean's 13 or Ocean 12? Maybe,
Anyone?
maybe it's Ocean's 13. But anyway, Clooney's trying to get his wife back, who's now with Andy Garcia. And anyway, he and Andy are having a talk, and Andy has some problem with some serious problem. And Clooney tells him, "I know a guy," and then Andy tells him, like in disbelief, "I have all these serious problems, and you know a guy?" And he says, "Yeah, I know a guy." So what can I say? As far as Istanbul goes, I know a guy, and who shall go nameless for now. But no, I think the thing is that you know we would not be able to survive. I would not be able to survive if it weren't for commandment number 10. Cloning is really good for your health. So I think in India, I think in the last 2 years, I have met with about 100 and either met or visited about 180 or more businesses that are listed, and met with a lot of CEOs and teams, and visited a number of plants and headquarters and all of that. It's just been a great education, and and in some cases there was cloning. In some cases, it was just uh, actually doing the work. God forbid, and but basically, we only need like 2 or 3 ideas in a year. We don't need too many. And I think if one is cloning is a good shortcut. Uh, you know, One of the commandments that didn't make the top 10, but almost made it, was, when Buffett was asked the same question, how do you find great stocks and all that, and his answer was start with the A's. And Buffett wasn't being facetious. In the 50s, he went through the Moody's manual, and he went through it twice, and there were 20,000 companies in there, and he looked at every single one of them. And I bought the Moody's manuals a few years back from on eBay, just to take a look at them, the 50s Moody's manuals. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, they've got like 3 or 4 companies a page, and they've got the basic financial information on those companies. And you can very quickly get to see kind of what is going on in terms of, cash and cash flows and all of that. And in many cases, he was buying well below cash. Forget the earnings engine; he was just buying below cash, and such. But he had to go through a number of thousands of pages to get to them. But that was fine. He had the time to do it. And so I think that you know uh, this is a treasure hunt, and if you enjoy treasure hunts, you'll enjoy being an investor. And there are shortcuts in the treasure hunt, like being a cloner. Um, but it works. I think so. Generally speaking, when I've gone to geographies like South Korea or now Turkey or China, I've definitely employed cloning to get some cover, and though that has worked well. And in the case of India, it's been a lot of kind of looking at things directly, but many times we find in India we find parallels uh, that have very strong histories in the US or Europe. And so then we can look at those. I mean, the same type of business exists in these countries and has been existed for longer. So you can kind of look at the trajectory that some of these businesses have followed and then take it from there.